Good morning, everybody. This is Mia. This is Wednesday of the week that we had Labor Day. So the days already even felt weird for me last week. I was already like pushing days around in my mind. This tea is cold because I used water from yesterday that was in a thermos. That's not thermos brand. Have you guys? So yesterday's videos I did not post yet. I have the honey doesn't really melt, whether it's hot or cold, warm or cold, warm or lukewarm. Do you guys ever go in to pay your bill? So yesterday's videos, I was doing tasks, and I went in to pay a bill that's due today. The bill is due today. If you don't pay it by 5 Eastern time, it's going to be late. So I had to pay it. Excuse me. I had to pay it today. Why did I even agree to do $500 for an exam on something I knew was going to cost tens of thousands? Like, that's just lame. Like, I mean, I respect their, 40 minutes, hour of time. As a healthcare provider myself, I don't get paid that much for the hour time. Other ones, most other providers do get paid about $500 or $600 per hour. Aspen Dental wants to charge like $1,500 for 45 minutes. That's way too much. Have you guys ever gone in to try to pay your bill and you know you've logged into your account recently, like in the last few months, and then you end up not being able to log into your account, and you use your login, you think your computer pops up a login and a password doesn't work, and then you have to figure out how to get your the login. That happened to me yesterday, and I'm like telling myself, I tell my partner, hey, there's some bills that have to be paid 5 o'clock our time. That wouldn't have been one that you want to wait until 11:45 to pay. I hear a bunch of noise. Anyways, I'm doing, I hope I post yesterday's videos, because I believe the last part was when I went into, I went to class at 2, so I shut off quickly because I had a class, and then I went to the post office. I may or may not have filmed, because the class was only at 2, and I went to the post office at 4:45. Anyways, whatever it is, I was talking about doing some stuff on the computer, which was supposed to be work, but it ended up being other bills and stuff too, and then changing the bedding, and then working on this laundry, which you guys saw me separate. You will see me separate some of the colors from the red lights, like really white lights, darks, really darks, and then I had to separate some like khaki colored stuff, and I do have some that I do colors that are, can I think about if you have old clothes that aren't going to bleed all over the darks, just, this thing is semi-manual, so it's like draining into the bathtub, so the bathtub is turning black and blue because of the dye on the clothing, which is always creepy because we're wearing those clothing. And that's why if you ever get organic clothing with natural dyes or undyed, or some kind of organic cloth that's not ever been bleached, it's hard to find that stuff. I don't think it's impossible. I think it's just hard. But we have fibers. We have artificial fibers. If we wear cotton, the cotton is not usually organic, and that's a very heavily pesticided crop. So I've been feeling sick. I told you I was putting away some supplements. I have been feeling sick since I started taking. I need to know what is in it. People don't disclose corn or rice. And if it's not listed as vegan or vegetarian. Likely it's not. And if it's vegetarian or vegan sourced, it's, I feel like almost 100% it has corn in it and rice. The health food companies are putting rice and stuff. So my issue right now is having the cheese, the wrappers on the cheese. One of my cheese had, it said it had oil in it, but it said oil and it was marked as corn oil on the app Fig. But I had, it was like, it wasn't elderberry, it was like some kind of plant. I don't even know what I was looking at. I think it was Gaia Detox. $50 for referring a business to nuts. The mail has been on the inserts. Yeah, so when I put all of the dark clothes yesterday, which hopefully I post, there will be, or I put them in this reusable grocery bag, and I was not able to put any more in because of the size, and there's nothing in the middle to keep the clothes from tangling up like big knots, especially with long sleeve shirts and things with straps and long sleeve or long pants. So I did skip the darks that my partner had that are work clothes, and I have the darks here that I have kind of forgotten about that were in that grocery bag. And then I had pulled all the reds. Oh shoot, did you hear my fire school? I had pulled all the reds out of this basket, the one that I was pulling from yesterday, and there's whites and khakis left, so about little. It's a small basket, so it's about half full. So what I was thinking was to wait and do the work clothes, do a full load of reds, including a towel, and then I'll figure out the darks and the lights, and there's bound to be a ton of whites in the actual laundry basket, and then the sheets and pillowcases, those are going to be taking up a lot of space. Those are going to be whites, and some of this stuff is going to need to be sprayed and or pre-treated and or soaked. So I really like doing laundry. Would I like it if it was my job? I don't know. Depends. Like, what if we could get paid for doing our own housework? Like, whenever you could do stuff on your own, though, it's like, in a way, you could save money. It's just time consuming and it makes it harder to do regular work. You save money by growing your own food. So, let's go back to the foods that I'm eating and the supplements I wasn't taking. My weight was at 166 this morning. First thing in the morning. I didn't drink or eat anything. I don't think I put my weight in. Yeah, yesterday I put my weight in and had some watermelon, I think. Oh, I weighed myself. I did eat a banana. So I was eating a banana. So whatever that is, a few ounces. So I've been eating salads every day. Pretty much out of nuts. Nuts I was eating. I found some here on the shelf, and I ate some seeds and a tiny bit of tahini, some more seed. Not putting salt on my food, letting myself run out of the liquid aminos and the Bragg nutritional yeast. And so, exercising, drinking fluids, drinking water, and I didn't do any weight stuff yesterday. I need to find my band too, but I feel like everything is crooked right now. So, what happens when you're obese and you've been eating salad every day and you've been eating eggplant? I used to love the salt on my kale chips and stuff, and now I'm not putting salt on it, I'm just putting spices on it. So why is my body so fat? The last time I gained the most weight, I was eating salads every day, a couple of servings of fruit every day, pretty much just a handful of nuts and some dark chocolate every day. That's it. It was water. I don't even think I was doing the herbal teas that much. I was probably doing a plain chamomile sometimes, like no honey or anything, just chamomile in a teacup. I went up to over 223. I think when I started weighing myself, I have my weight somewhere, but I was weighing myself. I was doing martial arts 3 times a week. I was parking at the 6th floor of the parking structure 3 at Portland State. I was not taking the elevators up and down the stairs, and I was unfortunately carrying a heavy backpack. I was taking my kids to the park at least once a day, taking walks in the neighborhood. When we were on the east side, there was a lot of sidewalks everywhere, and I did have some exercise equipment before that, but when I moved, I gave that stuff away until I got the weed. So when I did martial arts 3 times a week, so the taekwondo was a lot of running. I had to run for like 10 minutes in the beginning. We had to do sit-ups and push-ups, kind of military style. If anybody fell behind, the whole group had to do more. And then the actual kicks and procedures, and then the sparring, and then the forms, and then the tournaments with the board breaking, or the regular leveling up ceremonies with the board breaking, and then we had tournaments where we had to fight multiple people and do forms for competition. My weight ballooned up. Everyone said it's because I ate bananas and almonds. I ate a banana a day, maybe 2 if I was super busy, and then almonds. Just a small amount of almonds. Stuff is expensive. I was homeless. I was poor. I wasn't buying tons of food. I had 2 growing kids, so priority was giving them food. I was still eating some meat at that time, though, but not much because of the price. And I was eating out of food pantries sometimes, but it got to be too rotten for us. My kids were complaining about all these rotten meats, and they were giving us rotten dairy, and I'm lactose intolerant, and yogurt that was well expired. It wasn't even put in the freezer. It was just rotten and stinky and spoiled and old, and in some places they actually will put it in the freezer, then it can be fine, but if it's still fresh 10 days after the date and it's been left out at all these places, and it's just, I open the package for my kids, so I don't even cook it. It's disgusting. And we've gotten sick for more than one thing, and that takes you out of work. Jobs I had did not really have sick pay or any kind of income where you could miss work and actually pay your rent. So that's what's hard about being obese and stressed out. I was going to the pool, swimming laps sometimes, taking kids to pool parties, carrying my kids around on my back. Like, I'll say grown kids, but like 10-year-olds, 7-year-olds, piggybacking them. One of them used to love being on my back at church. So it's like, how do you do that? You're strong. Like, I'm strong and obese. Everyone was saying, you're fat. What's wrong? You switched one addiction to another. What, salad without dressing and no salt? Boring, and I wasn't under calories. People saying, you're probably deficient, that's why you're messed up your metabolism. My metabolism was already messed up. So what do you do when you're in that situation where you had 2 kids, you're homeless, you're poor, and you're worried? The more I'm worried about food, the more my weight, mentally, the more my weight carries on. I was to order food, my weight would stabilize a little bit, but oftentimes when I'm running out of food, my weight actually goes up without any change. No reduction in exercising, no increase in food. Do you guys have any issues with your weight and pain and disabilities? having fat thighs, having a hard time walking, having a hard time squeezing through places because their butt and hips are too wide, having your arms be like weird, you can't put all your clothes on, having bras that don't fit whatsoever, having to put stuff up for sale because it keeps on being too small, or you wear it too tight and then you feel sick and you're wondering why you don't feel good because you're cutting off your circulation. Again, and then I switched I did Taekwondo for 3 years. I did yoga, then Taekwondo, and then Taekwondo to Aikido. Oh, and then the times that I was doing that, I was at Portland State, I was running on the track regularly. I've shared that with you before. And pretty active, getting out, taking the kids places, going to churches, going to stores all the time. When I go to stores, we could get like 2,000 steps or something just by going in and pushing that grocery cart around. And then the time that I lost the most weight was going to a weight loss group, which felt like an eating disability in itself. B, during that time I had my Wii Fit, and I was on MyFitnessPal. My Wii Fit, I think, was a big prize winner there. Got my exercise bike from my hometown. I got my son a treadmill, and then I had one more thing. Try to get a trampoline, and then so the two things I think helped me lose weight. I started using salad dressing, or at least vinegar and oil, apple cider vinegar and oil. I was doing the Wii Fit, and I was doing, when I was working 3 jobs plus my store, I was doing my clinic, then I was going to do demos in the store for 6 hours, and then I was doing, once you're on your feet and you're walking around the grocery store the whole time, like you're on your feet and or walking around. And then I was doing Pizza Hut for full time, in the afternoons and evenings. That's when my weight really went down, and I was only eating out of like these jars with these nuts and condiments, I call it, these tiny canning jars. And I noticed when I came out here I was eating out of these bowls, and I didn't have the canning jars. I tried to mimic it with the little Pyrex, but they got used, like, I just put one in there. It was being used for thumbtacks and stuff, like, not food. And then I didn't have any, oh yeah, we had yards all these times, so I was doing yard work and hand cutting the grass and studying a lot, which that could have also been a thing that helped me. I was always hungry, studying. My stomach would just growl, study, compared to when I ran and did stuff. So, also got older and more stressed out as my children were in adolescent age. So, it was definitely the weight gain has come at a time where I'm really conscious about what I put into my body. And it makes me feel like just going to KFC and Hardee's and Carl Jr. and Popeyes and the deli and Chinese food. It makes me just feel like, who cares? I'm going to go because I feel like I don't want to end abruptly. And I'm going to empty this dehumidifier, and I'm going to drain this here. I think I've drained this first, so that way I can see if I can get this done before the store opens. And then today I have more classes, which I'm not going to sign up for any more of these, although for some of my licenses these hours will actually count more, but I'm getting overwhelmed with these series. But peace, guys. Peace.